All right, guys, it's on screen, off screen, back with another episode. And I wanted to we're at the end of the year. I wanted to thank both of my co hosts. These are two wonderful people. I started every episode talking about how great they are, but I mean it. Lauren is literally one of the kindest people ever. And before we started this episode, she was talking about how so many people want to hang out with her and she just wants to stay at home. And people want to hang out with her because she is just a light. She's a light to everyone around her. She makes you feel better. When we talk about these movies that lift us up and make us want to be better people, Lauren is the embodiment of that as a human being. She makes people want to be better. She makes people feel good. She makes people smile. That is Lauren. Josh is so giving and so kind. This podcast would not happen without Josh. He's the one who does the editing every single week. He's the one who does the posting. He's the one who brought us all together. Josh is a natural leader. He makes people believe that they can be better. There's times where he struggles with that belief in himself, but whenever I've talked to Josh, I see myself as someone who can be better. And all the problems that constantly plague me fade away because he digs into what is actually true. Not all of the nonsense that you build up in your head, but what is actually true. That is Josh. He is a wonderful person, and I'm extremely grateful. When we talk about Christmas season and the people that you want to spend the time with and people that you want to talk to, I am blessed to be able to work with and go on a podcast with these two wonderful people. With that, let's go to our episode. And I am going to start with Lauren's topic just because genuinely I'm super curious about this.
Well, thanks for that introduction. That was very generous of you. Um, so there is the Knives Out series with Daniel Craig. This is the third one that has come out with in on Netflix. Wake Up Deadman. Um, I put this on while I was like deep cleaning my house. I really like the Knives Out. It usually had like this really cool twist that I really liked. The first Knives Out, I think, was is obviously the best. I really like the twist with that one, and um, it seems like each Knives Out has a lot of big actors in it. This one's no exception. Um, all of the actors are escaping me right now. um, but one of the things that I really liked about this is that they have the priest, one of the main characters, the priest. He is this ex fighter and he accidentally killed somebody in the ring and he's like trying to atone for it. And I really liked his reasoning on things and like his forgiveness on things and his point of view in this movie. Um, as far as the things that I love about Knives Out, about like the twists and everything, I don't really want to ruin the plot for anyone, but there was like every single time something was unveiled, they would like look at Daniel Craig and they're like, you knew all along. And they said that line three times during this, and he'd be like, I did. And I'm like, you can't keep doing this. And so it really bothered me that I'm like the whole time Daniel Craig's character just like happened to know everything, but wanted everybody else to figure it out because it would help them along their way. And I was like, when did he become this character that is like it seemed like he was now the priest or whatever. Because like in the other Knives Out, he is helping usually a character that is um acquainted with the death or is like very integral to what the death is as you're trying to unravel it. But this one was just that like this one guy just kept saying that he did it over and over even though you know he didn't, and then everybody like turns to Daniel Craig and they're like, oh, you know he didn't do it all along. I'm like, I feel like the writing got lazy. Maybe it's just me. Maybe this is everybody's favorite Knives Out, and I just didn't get it. Um, but it is kind of heavy on religious things, and it was very interesting. Um, how because they have one priest who is opposite of the fighter priest, and I did think that that was interesting, about how they were trying to lead this flock, as they kept saying. um, so in that aspect, I thought it was very interesting seeing both of their point of views, because honestly, at some point in my life, I've had both of those views. I mean, one was taken to the extreme, um, but it was very like interesting to see those. But as far as what you'd expect from a Knives Out movie, this was my least favorite Knives Out. Um, but for other aspects of it, I thought it was very interesting and intriguing. Um, but yeah, so I think give it a try. You might like it. You might be pleasantly surprised. But as for me, I think I was more interested in the dynamic of the priests than I was the actual like mystery of what was going on. Um, and just like the kind of funniness of Daniel Craig knowing everything and everybody always being so surprised that he already knew.
I
um,
I've watched the first 20 minutes of this,
mm,
and I mean I'm gonna hold off my judgment until I've watched the entire movie. But I'm 20 minutes in, and I'm like, I don't know what the mystery is yet, and
yeah.
that's been my. I'm like, good, let's good. Who died?
Yeah, you
Who's
haven't gotten
died?
to it yet.
I literally haven't gotten to it yet, and it's
Yeah.
just it feels like they should have shortened up the first part, or like introduce the mystery and then give us a little bit of the backstory so I'm hooked more. Because
Yeah.
I got it 20 minutes in and I was like, I'm really tired. I think I'm just gonna go to bed. I'll watch this later.
Yeah.
I
I
don't want to feel that way.
I also think that they introduce one mystery and then I feel like there's like several other ones getting like I don't know. I feel like there's two big mysteries or whatever, but
Okay.
one it I don't know how to explain it correctly because I was gonna say one canceled out the other, but that's not really true. Yeah, I don't know how best to explain that until you watch
So
it.
I know Josh likes mysteries. Like he enjoys this kind of thing. I don't know that about you, Lauren. Do you like Agatha Christie type stuff? Are you into this?
Sometimes I get in the mood for yeah, Josh.
This is not mystery Agatha Christie kind of stuff.
I would put it more on the heist type
Yeah. So you
category.
hate the first one because you're like, I already know who did it so early on. But it's
Yeah.
like, it's not who done it. It's will they get away with it?
Hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe I think about it wrong. Because, yeah, that's my problem with the first one. Because I knew who did it maybe before this one even has a mystery in the
Everyone
first
did. That
one.
was the part of it. So I just want to interject.
Okay.
Like, I don't view
Okay.
these as mysteries. I don't view the second one as a mystery either. It's the same kind of a thing. Will they get away with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
yeah, so that's exactly like I really like heist movies where if you can show me like how they get away with it, then I'm like, oh, that's so cool, or like, yeah,
Hmm.
that was so clever, type things. Sometimes I like mysteries. A lot of the times mysteries just tick me off.
Okay.
um, but the Agatha Christie show that Josh had me watch, that's his favorite, that I can't think of what it's called.
And then there were none.
Thank you. um,
It's really good.
I really like that one. And I thought it was really funny because I was like live texting him while I was watching that. And he's like, oh, who do you think it is? And I guessed who the killer was, but then he faked his death. And I was like, oh, never mind, can't be him. I fell for it. But he's like, why do you think that? And I'm like, he looks detached, and he's like doing this, and this didn't make sense, and this is going on and stuff. And so like I like caught on to it, then totally fell for him faking his own death.
That's awesome.
So I really like that actually, like, I like that one because it worked on me. He was getting suspicious, faked his death. I was like, oh, must be that. Okay, was I him? And then when he came back, I was like, dang it!
Like,
So,
I was right.
yeah, so that was one that I ended up really liking as well. Because you could solve it while you're like watching it and stuff. It's the mysteries that get me with kind of like with Scooby Doo, where they're like, oh, well, I found out because of this one piece of evidence that we never showed you that makes it obvious that it's so and so. I hate those mysteries. But if they make it so that it's clever enough that if you're paying attention, you can solve it, I like that. Um,
Was there any
Otherwise,
mystery in like your childhood that was super impactful for you? Anything like were you into Nancy Drew? Were you into Scooby Doo? Is there anything that's mystery aspect that you really loved as a kid?
Goosebumps.
Right, that works. That works.
I
That's
was
a good
like,
one.
very specifically, there was only 3 books that I liked Goosebumps wise. One was, dang it, I think I might have said these on the podcast before, but now I can't remember. I remember one was about like a headless ghost child. Um, Another was about like a lagoon and there was like mermaids, and then the other one was like the Phantom of the Auditorium, which was definitely Phantom of the Opera, but written for kids. Uh,
That's awesome. So,
but
what would you rate this?
um, I'm probably gonna watch it again when I'm not cleaning my apartment so that I can
That might
see if
help a
I
little
like
bit.
it. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I'll like it a little bit more when I'm paying more attention to it. Um, so I'd say 6, 7.
Okay. Yeah, you know how wild that is? I'm gonna turn on a mystery that I have to pay a ton of attention to because I just want it on in the background.
Well, it was so funny because I was like, I was fully expecting to just get. I was watching the first like 10 minutes of it, and then I decided that I needed to clean my house. So I just kept it with me as I was cleaning.
ADHD who?
So yeah. Exactly. Oh, but yeah.
All right.
So
Let's
yeah.
with that,
Sorry.
let's go on to my first topic, and then we'll go over to Josh's. My first one is Completionist Chronicles Book 13 Unmapped that just released on the 9th. That's pretty new. I don't even think it's on. I think you have to buy it from his website. I don't think it's on Audible yet. Um, Unfortunately, this is by far my least favorite of the books by a lot. I still am positive on it, but I'm just positive on this one. Josh has talked about this series before where he doesn't like that our main character Joe doesn't have a lot of consequences for the big negative actions that he takes or the world around him is affected by. And that is a fair criticism of the book series. In the last book, Joe gets hammered, like absolutely wrecked. And it should have more of an impact on the character. And this one, a year passes, and yeah, the story is about how he heals from the trauma of the last book, but it doesn't really feel like it's that hard for him to heal. He just calls in a couple favors, people make him some magic equipment, and now he's going to be healed in the beginning of the next book. I get the author has to go somewhere. He has 9 books to finish the series. He obviously wants to power level Joe pretty heavily. It just was disappointing. It's the first time where I felt like Joe suffered a really, really strong negative in the story. that should have been really impactful. Book 5 didn't bug me like it bugged Josh. This one did. It should have been harder for him to level up. This shouldn't have just been oh, you had a negative thing happen to you that feels like it was a good thing in basically every possible way. Um, it was disappointing. This was a disappointing book. I was disappointed with this one, which sucks because I love this series. This book doesn't have any Jackson in it. Most of the side characters really aren't involved. So you're just dealing with Joe dealing with this negative thing that happened to him, but everything's just going absolutely positive for him throughout the entire book. I'm giving this one a 6 because I love the series. In complete honesty, it's probably a 5.5. This is easily the worst book. Easily the worst book.
So we have Josh, the producer for Disney, who would make Star Wars better. Do we have Conlon, the author, that would make this 13th book better?
Absolutely, for sure. Joe should have to go to the ends of the earth to be able to heal from what happened. Basically, he gets divine damage throughout his entire body. The most powerful magic in existence rips through him and destroys his mana channels. And he should just have to go to the ends of the earth. But he goes over to a character that Josh has already been introduced to, but there's a lot more to him when he reads more. And it's like, you owe me. Give me magic thing. Oh, other character who Josh isn't introduced to yet. You owe me. Give me magic thing. What about this character? Oh, you owe me. Give me magic thing. And then there's I think Dakota Crowd does a really good job of making his endings feel epic and grand scale and just like, holy crap, did that just happen? Wow. And this one, they finally take down a world boss, which is like your biggest, your baddest, your nastiest. And it's taken down off screen, basically. Like you see little parts of it, but it's not a big epic battle. It felt very much like oh, we've seen this all before.
So it's not like you don't feel the consequences of like what happened.
You don't feel the consequences because he just kind of pulls the repairs, the fix the situation out of his butt. It doesn't feel like it was really earned. It's just, oh, this character has the magic ability to fix this problem, fix this problem, fix this problem. And then he needs to have 2 different items, and one of them is what's required to kill a mythic boss. So, of course, you have a group of grandmasters that just kind of show up and save Joe. It's just...
Oh, okay. So
nothing felt earned in this book. It felt very, very unearned.
Yeah, that's what you were meaning by like everything felt too easy and stuff. It's just okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That's frustrating.
Harder. It was I'm very bummed with this book. I literally re-listened to the entire thing because I was like, maybe I'm too harsh. Maybe I'm too harsh. And I think I was a little bit because I was more like this is a negative book. I sound pretty negative on it. Now I'm slightly positive. Slightly.
And is this the last one, or is there's another one coming?
There's 9 more. There are 8 more.
There's 8 more after this. Okay.
He's writing all of them in a row. I'm still really excited because I love this series as much as I do. I just hope it gets better. I hope this is like a speed bump where it sucked and then it gets better. This one was rough.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Anyway, that was my big negative thing. My next topic is going to be way more positive, guys. Way, way, way more positive. This series means a lot to me, and I want to see it be great. Josh, what is your topic? I'm interested in this one because honestly, truly, this movie looks incredibly dumb to me.
Okay, so I watched the 2022 Spirited Christmas movie starring Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. This came out, and generally, people just kind of forgot it. It wasn't like a big negative. It wasn't nobody really like loved it. Most people are like, yeah, not very good, don't watch it, and kind of just disappeared. But I do really like Ryan Reynolds, so ever since I saw the trailer, I kind of wanted to give it a shot because I like Ryan Reynolds. I despise Will Ferrell. Um, after having watched it, I can see why this is kind of just like a forgotten movie. It's got some good, it's got some bad. Um, one of the positives I have written here is I didn't want to punch Will Ferrell in the face a single time during this movie, which makes it his best live action performance. Um, but he's still the worst part of this movie. I think if you replaced him with a better performer, somebody who could actually sing, uh, people would be like, "Oh yeah, that was fine," and then kind of move on with it. It would be a little bit more positive. But he is so bad at singing, you can actually hear when they turn auto tune on. Because in this movie, they do a lot of this, like, oh, we're talking louder, we're talking louder. Now we're talking and singing. And so now it would be Will Ferrell would be, now we're talking and sing, and then they would turn on auto tune for ing because now they're actually singing, and so it just created this horrible like throw me out of this movie experience because he would be talking, everything would be fine, things would ramp up. Here comes a song, and then there's just like this random change to his voice, and you go, oh, that was auto tune turning on because he can sing. And it's really bad because it doesn't happen with the other singers. Um, I
Which
think
almost
it's a
makes it even worse.
yeah, it really hurts it because you're like, oh, like if they just got a real performer.
Yeah, and even if he was just
It's
bad, like it's almost better for him to just be bad and consistently bad than bad, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, you just fixed him.
yeah. It's not even a big fix because it still sounds
Hmm.
like Will Ferrell. He's not a very good singer, and it's just noticeable that like they didn't even like try and fade the auto tune on. It was just like, and it's on. Um,
Full blast.
so yeah, I think it's actually a shame because there's so much like excellence in this show. Um,
Okay.
all of their like it's a musical. There's singing and dancing going along on throughout all of this. All of the dancers do a great job. All of the
Cool.
choreography is fantastic, and they even dance around the fact that Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell are not Broadway stage ballet dancers performer. Like they disguise it so well in how it's choreographed. Um, I think the songs are actually really good. I just think that replace Will Ferrell with somebody decent, and it's not so like like I said, I don't think it's exceptional. I don't think that there's just like tons better. Um, it's just like generally people talk about this movie pretty negatively. To me, when Will Ferrell is not so obnoxious that I want to punch him in the face, I think that's a win and it should be celebrated. We should celebrate Will Ferrell not being obnoxious, and maybe we will get less obnoxious stuff. Um, I I had a pretty positive experience with this one. I actually enjoyed it despite my criticisms of it. It was nice to see an unannoying Will Ferrell. It was nice to see Ryan Reynolds doing something different other than Deadpool. Um, it was
Was he
good.
the
It was
Deadpool character?
no,
Like he was a more chill Ryan Reynolds.
he was a executive. He owned his own company, and he was the Scrooge. It is the Christmas Carol
Oh,
story twice.
is
Okay.
I've been
So it's
seeing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
it's Christmas Carol, right? So Will Ferrell is the ghost of Christmas Present,
Okay.
and he is Scrooge. Literally, he is Scrooge who died and became the ghost of Christmas Present. And there's this really good story about how he's like having doubts about whether or not he's actually changed or his environment has changed. And he's given a chance to be human again, but he has this trauma to go through of like, can I actually be good? Can I actually be a different person? Or am I just going to revert back to being Scrooge? So like it's this excellent like flip flop. We're going to have two Christmas Carol stories in this musical. I think it's a
That
great
is actually
idea.
cool.
I think that the musical, like the songs and the lyrics, they're really good. There's really good aspects to it. Anytime Will Ferrell isn't singing, he's doing a great job with his character, and he's the character who has a romance, and it's played very well. Like Lauren, I think you would love it. It's the exact like slow burn, like they make googly eyes at each other and then are both too shy to actually like say anything, and then they move on and they like run into each other and then shenanigans happen so they have to separate and then they come back together and then separate and then um so like there are so many positive things to say about this movie. Most people I feel like are going to be like, oh, it's like a 4 because it's just not very good. I looked it up. A lot of the criticisms are like, it's unoriginal. It's just another Christmas Carol story. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here like, Christmas Carol is a great story. People clearly need to get the message that they need to be good human beings. If you don't believe me, go outside, go to any store, and count how many carts aren't put away. Um, basic human decency things. So I'm not mad at the story. Yeah, I agree with them that it's not original. Yeah, they're just doing a Christmas Carol. They're blatantly just doing a Christmas Carol.
But that's okay.
But it's got a good twist with it being a Christmas Carol within a Christmas Carol with the original Scrooge and it being a musical. I'm going to give it like a 6.8. And I think that if
Okay.
you replaced Will Ferrell and put somebody in there that is an actual like performer, which is actually really horrible because like they cast somebody to play what's his name in Christmas Carol, the first ghost that shows up on the doorstep, Jacob.
Marley?
Yeah,
Jacob Marley?
yeah, and he is phenomenal. He is an incredible performer, and I was like, why isn't he just the ghost of Christmas Present? He would have done such a great job. I was blown away by the dancing. Still, like, I would bump this up to an 8 just if you replace Will Ferrell.
I think I've been seeing little bits of this movie on my TikTok where it's like the Ghost of Christmas Future is like pointing at Ryan Reynolds and he like tries to grab somebody and like put them in front. And he's like,
Yep. Yeah.
okay.
The Ghost of Christmas Future is played by, I don't remember who it is. He's like an early 2000s hip hop performer. And every time they're in the background, he's like, I want to do more than talk. And they're like, but you're such a good pointer. And so he actually shows up and he points, and Ryan Reynolds is like, please, this guy? No. And then he like shoves him over. This person? Please? Please? And they're like, no, come on, let's go. And he's like, fine. Um,
That's better.
I think there's a lot to say. It's really good at it. There is a twist in it that actually shocked me. The outcome was exactly what I predicted it to be, but how it happened did not see coming at all. I was like, oh wow,
That's cool.
that was different than I expected. I like I said, I liked it. I think change Will Ferrell and I would love it, honestly. But that's okay.
You have me more interested in watching it, to be
I
honest.
don't think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna come into it and you're gonna be like, this sucks.
Okay. I might. I don't know. I might not watch it then. I don't. Ryan Reynolds can be so good, but I looked at it and I was like, Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell feeding off each other's energy like that doesn't sound great. And I don't hate Will Ferrell as much as you do. I do kind of like Step Brothers. I
I love
kind
that
of.
scene where he's like burying him. He's like, no, why are you burying me? You're gonna wake the neighbor. I quote that all the time, and I've never seen Step Brothers.
That's wild.
Anyway, sorry.
Kind of like Anchorman. Like, there's things I kind of like, but there's nothing that I love. Josh, is he the worst comedian to you? Is there anybody you find worse?
It's a really tight three-way tie. Will Ferrell,
Okay.
Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey.
All right. Adam Sandler to me is like clearly so much better than Will Ferrell. It's not even funny.
I have a lot more respect for Adam Sandler. Every time I see him not in a movie, I'm like, this is a great guy. This is a good human being. This is a really awesome person. Wow, I really like that he does that. I really like that he did that. I really like that he does that. But every time he's in a movie, I'm like, you're just any actor that is famous for acting stupid is just not my thing. Like Steve Carell is really close behind them, and the only reason I don't put Steve Carell with those three is because of things like Crazy Stupid Love, where he actually shows a range and that he can act.
Okay.
Did
Lauren, what do you want to say?
I was gonna say, did I have you watch Dan in real life?
You have wanted me to watch that for a very long time.
It's a
Okay.
really
And
good
then I
movie.
think I told you not to for some reason.
Yeah,
Okay.
I still
I
intend
can't
to
remember
watch
what the
it.
reason was.
Like every one of those actors do have exceptions, right? Jim Carrey has series of
Spotless
unfortunate
Mind one.
events. No, I hated that one.
Oh yeah,
Or
you
didn't
hated that
hate
movie.
it. I just didn't like it. Will Ferrell, he has Megamind and the Lego Movie, right? Anything that he's just a voiceover and not an actual like actor. I actually think he does a pretty good job. And
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler has the basketball one that I like.
Time stories? Oh.
Oh, and bedtime stories. I do love bedtime
Okay.
stories. Yeah. So like they all have exceptions. I don't hate on people just to hate on them, which is why like I was willing to watch this in the first place. Um, but at the same time, it's just like I get that it's seeing them on the cover and it just knowing like that person is going to be an idiot for the sake of being an idiot to try and get laughs.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
It's
makes sense.
just not my thing.
What do you think about Will Ferrell, Lauren?
I don't enjoy his more crude stuff. I like Elf. I like I'm trying to think because like the first movie I ever saw of him was Elf, and so I'd tell you that I loved Will Ferrell, and then I didn't realize that he had a lot of crude stuff out there. Um, but yeah, I don't hate on him. I don't think it's bad.
Yeah. Do you like other dumb comedians? Do you like Jim Carrey? Do you like Adam Sandler?
I like Jim Carrey in doses. Um,
Okay.
like I love I love clips of Jim Carrey, but I can't sit through like Dumb and Dumber as a movie, but I can
Okay.
watch
That's fine.
clips of Dumb and Dumber. Same with the animal detective one.
I
Ace
hate that
Ventura.
movie. I hate that movie so much.
I do reference the thing where when he gets stabbed in both legs, where he's like, ah, 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 all the time. But other than that, that's another one that like I just like the memes that have come out of them, and like little bits because I tried watching Ace Ventura as a movie, and I was like, this is a lot worse than I remembered as a kid. Like I remember really liking it as a kid, and then like watching it as an adult, I was like, oh, oh, a lot of this went over my head, and it's not that funny. um, but I do like Series of Unfortunate Events. I like The Grinch. I generally like Jim Carrey. But for those like those two, Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura, where I think was like the peak of him being slapstick and a little crude. Well, they're not my favorite characters of his,
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
I like Jim Carrey.
That's fair. I like some stuff from everybody, from all of them too. The only one that I can think of that I don't like is whoever plays Austin Powers. I hate Austin Powers. I hate Austin Powers so much. I would burn Austin Powers.
Isn't that oh my
Whoever
gosh?
that is, awful.
Myers. I feel like I say Mike Myers, but isn't that like a serial killer character from?
Uh,
Mike
isn't that the
Myers
name of the guy from Halloween?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
is.
What's from Halloween?
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It
but
is Mike Myers for Austin
is
Powers.
Yeah, because he's also he's also
Oh,
Shrek.
okay. He has a giant exception then, because I love Shrek. I can't believe the guy who did Shrek did Austin Powers. Austin Powers is one of the worst pieces of garbage ever made.
Yeah, I knew he was that. Who am I thinking that the serial killer character?
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. So it's really close. That's why I was scared to say Mike Myers, because I remember I said like Michael Myers one time and somebody's like, "That's not Shrek." So just couldn't get that wrong again on the internet.
All right, let's go to my next one. Niza 2. Have you guys seen this, heard about this, anything?
I've seen Niza.
Okay.
First
What
one, right?
did you think about the first one?
I was very surprised about the animation. I really like the animation. It's interesting. I liked it. It has the miscommunication trope that I hate. But I also understood because they're just manipulating basically children. Um, but I liked it. And I want to watch Niza too. So
Okay. So Niza 1, I had a very similar opinion. Like, good, but nothing. It was good. It was good. The second one is insane. Like, it's crazy. I watched it today, and I was going to save it for a topic, but I was like, I can't save this for a topic. You guys have to watch this show. You have to. This is the best animation I have ever seen. Period.
Okay.
Hands down. It's insane. There's a part where, and they're like, the world feels real, because at the very beginning, you have this awesome opening scene where they open up portals basically to hell, and lava is flowing out of these portals. And throughout the show, the lava starts to cool and it turns into obsidian, and then it cools. And like, you see the passage of time as the lava is cooling, and it is insane. The water is amazing. Like, it's beautiful. There were multiple different scenes where I was thinking to myself, Josh, this is like old Bethesda, but it's a whole movie of that quality of animation. I have it when I first watched Avatar, and I was like, the Blue People movie, not a great movie, right? It's fine. But you watch it for the first time, you're like, wow, this is amazing. The visuals are incredible. That is how I felt watching this animated movie. I was like, this is better than everything. This is crazy. The story itself is good. Like, it's an enjoyable story. I would tell you guys to watch it on the animation basis alone, but the story is enjoyable. It's like, if Dragon Ball Z was good, that would be this. It felt very much like it feels like Dragon Ball Z. It is very much a Western.
A ton of people.
I know. I just think Dragon Ball Z is stupid.
We lose all subscribers. They were all
Dragon Ball Z. They were all Dragon Ball Z fans. I don't get the Dragon Ball Z thing. I don't get it. But Dragon Ball Z has like a certain tone, and it's very over the top ridiculousness, which this is that similar kind of a thing. But the story comes together really well. I like all the characters. I like the idea of being together and the comradeship. It has the anime thing where they over explain stuff. Like a dragon is like 1,000 years ago, this is exactly what happened, and this is how we're here right now. And it does that over and over again, like animes do. It is a anime done in a Western style, but it is a anime that is solid with animation that is mind boggling. You should watch this. Both of you should watch this, like today, because it's awesome.
So I noticed that this movie has changed your mood. How would you describe that it
Yes.
is changing your mood? Like, is that like more of like excited, pumped to do things, or like happy, or
So you play a video game and you have like a really badass moment where like that was so cool. Wow. Or I've talked about John Wick where it's like that was so cool.
feels
Wow.
epic? Yeah.
It feels epic. When I was watching this, there were multiple times where I literally was just sitting on my couch like, this is so cool. Wow. Over and over again. There's a part where they are fighting and our main characters are stuck in this giant orb that's filling up with lava and going to dissolve them. And they get wrapped around by a tree, and the enemy forces become the leaves of the tree. And I literally paused the movie and I was like, how? That is so beautiful. I want to save that and turn it into my screensaver. Awesome. The fight scenes are epic. There's a part where he's fighting a guy who can become the currents in the water, and he's fighting in a rainstorm, and he's disappearing as they're fighting back and forth, and they're like flowing like lightning between the different rainfalls. It's amazing. It is amazing.
I'm like, I wonder how
I love this show.
long this show is being animated and like composited, because this sounds like a lot of
It's
tedious animation.
there's so much detail. Like I would watch the background and like the way that things would break apart and they would fall into different smaller pieces. All of these little teeny details that are in the background of this movie are amazing. Amazing. The way that the water flows and splashes when they're fighting is amazing. The fight scene choreography is amazing. The way there's a part where there's a guy who has frost powers and he freezes the water, and the way that the ice breaks apart and breaks into little chunks is it's amazing. Um, if you are not, I just watch this show. Just watch it. Like if you like good animation, you like good visual things, maybe this won't be your favorite movie of all time. I'm not going to say it's a perfect movie. The story has some problems, but it's worth experiencing just once because bravo animators, like good freaking job. Way to go. Amazing. Amazing.
Good. Yeah, I wanted to watch this solely based on the animation style.
It's I don't know how to rate this, to be completely honest, because the story is just kind of fine. To be honest, like it's enjoyable enough, but it's fine. I don't know what rating to give this. I just think people should watch it.
Okay.
It should be experienced.
So it's a 10 out of 10 on you should watch this.
It's
Give it a 10.
everyone should give this a shot, even if this is not your thing. Like if you are not into anime, you should just watch and be blown away how cool this is.
I am completely flabbergasted at this moment in time.
Why?
And it's simple. I've never heard of this or the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think this is very niche that I came upon it because of like the animation things that I follow. So that's why I think I discovered it. But
It's not niche.
it's not niche.
There's no way that this is niche. This is now the highest grossing animated film of all time. It
Really?
has grossed $2.2 billion.
Holy crap.
It is the 5th highest grossing movie of all time, knocking the fourth Star Wars movie, Force Awakens, off the list.
That's
It now
insane.
goes Avatar from 2009, Avengers Endgame, Avatar The Way of Water, Titanic, Niza 2.
Oh my gosh.
Force
That's
Awakens
crazy.
made 2.02 billion. This one made 2.2 billion.
My flappers are gasted.
I've never heard of this thing. To answer your question, Lauren, it took 5 years to produce. A team of
Only
over
5?
4,000 animators from 138 different companies to collaborate this productively 1,984 to 2,400 special effect shots
Wow.
on a
It
budget of
shows.
$80 million.
Oh, man.
Good
guys
for
need glasses.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just like, how have I never
Yeah.
even like seen a clip of this on TikTok? Like, I get clips from movies all the time. That's where I get all my movie recommendations. It's just scrolling through social media. Never once have I heard of this. Top highest grossing
know.
animated movies of all time. Number 10, Moana 2, 1.04 billion. Toy Story 3, 1.06. Toy Story 4, 1.07. Minions, 1.16. Incredibles 2, 1.24. Frozen, 1.29. Super Mario Bros. The movie, 1.36. Frozen 2 and or The Lion King from 2019, 1.65 billion. Number 2, Inside Out 2 at 1.69 billion. Niza 2, 2.2 billion. So not only is it like just not even close,
It's destroyed.
it's destroyed. It's made so much money. And to be clear, that's not a mark. Like, that does not guarantee that it is good, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Force Awakens was number 5 before it. Titanic is still made more money than it, even though that's just total, not including inflation, which is just crazy.
Everybody, hurry, go buy it. Let it beat Titanic.
I'm not even mad that it's supposedly great animation or good story or whatever. It's that I haven't even heard of it. That's just blows my mind.
Yeah, that's wild to me too, to be completely honest. I saw the first one a while ago, and I enjoyed it. Like, I talked about that. But this one I saw the trailer for, and I was like, I'll watch it. Sure, why not? I wish I would have gone to the theater. I wish I would have gone to the theater so bad for this movie, because it's just so epic. And if you can get an HDR screen, that's a good HDR screen to watch this. I was so amazed by the animation on my TV. My computer it just has better graphics. It just does. So I came downstairs to watch it so that I could be mind blown on a different level, because there's so many colors. It's so good. I'm surprised you haven't heard about it either, Josh, but you should check this movie out.
Okay, Colin, the time has come, though. I
I
gave you some
don't
time.
know.
On a scale of 1 to 10. Well, let's start with the easy question. Is it better than Black Panther?
Yes, easily.
So it's higher
Absolutely,
than a
1 out of
5,
10.
right?
It is higher than a 5. So there's one character in this that's kind of annoying. It's anime type annoying, but it's not awful. The story is pretty simple, but the simple's not bad. It's all enjoyable. I'm going to give it an 8.5, I think, but I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I think you're
'Cause the
rating
story
it low
is
for
just-
how you're reacting to it. But okay.
The story is just good. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the story is just good. It's not anything mind-shattering. It's just a good story. It's the animation that's like, holy shit. You know, the voice acting is all good. Like, there's that one character that's kind of annoying. But other than that, it's all good. It's good. It's good voice acting. Nothing's like mind blowing. It's the animation that is just insane. I'm gonna give it an 8. I feel like 8.5 is fair. I feel like 8.5 is fair because the story kind of has to blow me away for it to be a 9.
Okay. You seem right a lot. IMDb is an 8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 92%. Prime Video 8 out of 10. So you seem right in the ballpark.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's fair. It's fair. All right, Josh, let's go to your next topic.
Okay, this one should be pretty quick. I said I was going to continue watching Harry Potter, and I did. I watched 4 through 7. I am more pissed with Harry Potter than I was before.
Okay.
To be plain and simple. I have been trying to be more positive about what I've been watching and just enjoying things for how they are because I've been fairly negative for a little while now. And I thoroughly enjoyed 4. I really liked 5. I really liked 6. I really liked 7. 4 is still the worst one. By far. It is still like the rest of them are really good. That one is just passable. There's so much issues with it. But I enjoyed it so much. I was like, I want more. So I watched the Harry Potter anniversary reunion show. And I am utterly flabbergasted because there's a character in it that talks. And I was like, I just watched these. I have no idea who you are. And I had to look it up. And it's a guy who's in every single movie. But I don't know how many lines of dialogue he has. I'm guessing it's less than 10. But he's like a main part of the reunion show. He talks more than anybody else. And I'm like, what the freak? Anyway, I still really want more Harry Potter, but this is why I'm more frustrated than before. I previously brought up the basilisk stabbing Harry Potter as a plot hole. And I don't remember where I heard the argument, but I heard the argument that, well, the basilisk thing didn't work because Harry Potter didn't die. So you go, okay, fine. So I was watching the 7th one, and Harry Potter drops the Sorcerer's Stone, the Resurrection Stone, whatever you want to call it, and goes on. And so I looked it up. I was like, how did Harry Potter survive in the books? And you know what the answer is? He didn't die when Voldemort cast the spell. His inner Voldemort Horcrux died when Voldemort cast the Avada Kedavra spell because some reason. And so I'm sitting here like, this is this. There's so many plot holes in this freaking movie. 4 and 7 definitely have the most plot holes. And it's really frustrating because it's like, I know J.K. Rowling wrote the books. And I can see the intent. Like every single plot point, if she had just like figured out sooner, would have made Harry Potter fantastic. But it's like in number 7, I haven't read the books, but I do want to read the books now because I'm so curious about so many of these things. But it just feels like in the 7th movie, they're like, you know what'd be cool if this happened? You know what'd be cool if Harry Potter was a Horcrux the whole time? You know what would be cool if Snape did this thing? I know that this is a small pet peeve, and you could explain it away with her busted magic system, but like, Harry takes Snape's memory, right, when he dies at the end, and goes back and watches it, and figures out that it was Snape's Patronus that guided him to the sword. Mm-hmm. Except that conversation was with Dumbledore, and Harry was out in the forest when Dumbledore was already dead. So what is this memory timeline that we're even on? Like,
I thought
you
it
could
was
explain it, and you could be like, well, it's magic, and it was only supposed to activate at, right, like her busted magic system where anything could be anything. But me as a viewer is watching this, and I was like, no, you cast that spell before Dumbledore died because that memory was with Dumbledore. Harry goes to 20 other places after Dumbledore dies, and then his Patronus shows up. Like, just stuff like that. If elves were really as magical as they seem to be, where they can break wards and evaporate in and out of places like the Malfoy's dungeon, then like they would rule this world. They wouldn't be slaves to it. That makes no sense that they could just boom, you're dead. Boom, I can go wherever I want. Boom, I know you have a magical seal on this dungeon, but boom, I'm in, and boom, I'm out. Like, what does this even mean? So, like, I'm totally torn. Like, in terms of enjoyment, I thoroughly enjoyed Harry Potter. In terms of criticism and my analytical brain, I sit there and I go, this is such crap. And I'm sitting here like, I know the books are bad. I have tried reading the first one so many times. I know the writing is awful. But there's this part of me that's like, what if it was better planned out in the books?
I do remember liking the books in the end better than the movies in the end. Um, I do remember that.
Well, I'm sure
Um,
the books are technically better. They
well,
usually are.
there's like the first movie and like the first book. I think I prefer the movie over the book.
Well, that would
Um,
make sense because they've had like the first movie came
The
out
book is
before
rough.
the third book came out.
yeah.
So,
Um,
Book is rough.
and then I heard a coworker came up to me today and just told me that they just released the oh, what is that called? The dramatized version of Harry Potter on Audible. So they have
Yeah.
like the actors doing the voices for I don't know if that will help you.
no, it won't.
But
Because, like, I'm not in love with the actors. But, like, the other part of me is, like, I feel like both Ron and Hermione's romance and Harry's and Ginny's was just, like,
it's trash
second
in the
in the
movies.
movies. It's, like, nothing.
Yeah.
It
In
kind
the
of just,
books,
like, happens at the end, and you're like, okay.
yeah, no, that's what makes me mad about the movies is that Ginny is actually like throughout is a slow burn with Harry throughout the books.
Mhm.
It's a lot more present. You can barely see it sometimes in the movies,
Yeah, there's a couple
but
of times, like when she's little and Harry first shows up at their door and she comes down and she's in her
yeah,
pajamas and she looks all embarrassed. Like, okay, yeah,
yeah.
you can see that. But then they do nothing for like two movies.
It makes me so sad what they did to Jenny in the movies because she is awesome in the books. Like she
Yes.
comes up with like jinxes and stuff. And like she's a lot more like badass in the books. Um and it makes me sad that
I
she's
think
not as big in the movies.
I think the books get the movies get a couple things wrong. Jenny and Ron are the biggest things in my opinion. Jenny has a lot more personality. The relationship is just a lot better, and Ron is somebody who's like easygoing and laid back. That's a lot different than being an idiot. And in the movie, they have him be like the dumb, silly sidekick, and it's a completely different character. It's not the same thing. It's like they don't understand that laid back isn't the same thing. Like Ron is a great chess player. He beats Hermione and Harry Potter in chess. Like he's not a dumb person, and they don't get the characterization right. The other thing that I think they do bad in the movies is book 5. is way, 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 way better in the book than the movie. I don't like the movie very much. I think the movie is extremely boring. I skip it. I don't like it very much. In the book, there's a lot of character development. Umbridge is absolutely despicable. Way better done in the book. And there's those are my main complaints and areas where the book is just better.
That's wild because I think Umbridge is one of the best things the movie does.
She is so
It's
much better in
worse
the
in the
books.
books.
She's so much
She's so
better in
much
the books.
worse.
So much
Better
worse, yeah.
being worse. Yeah.
Way, way, way better written in the books.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a
Anyway, I don't know if I will. I just like I really enjoyed Harry Potter. So there is a part of me that's like, I want more, but I know Fantastic Beasts movies suck. I know J.K.
actually
Rowling's not a good writer, but like, other than just rewatching them, there's not really a way to get more other than I guess Hogwarts Legacy. So
I was just
have
about to say, I
you
was like, there's fan fiction.
I will be listening to the
Orlando.
fanfiction next. I'm almost done with my current book.
Okay.
have you watched any of the Fantastic Beasts movies at all?
I watched the first one. I've seen the second one, and I remember going, "That sucked," and then never being
Okay.
motivated to watch the third one. Like it was so bad, I was planning on binging them. Watched the first one. It's got some good stuff in it. Watched the second one. Had the third one ready to go, and decided I don't want to. That's all I
liked the
remember
first
about it.
one. I genuinely enjoyed the first one, but the second one is bad, and I haven't seen the third one for the exact same reason that you did. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Second one was rough.
Oh.
Anyway, that's cool. Did this change your rating at all? Like the way that you would rate the
No.
movies?
Actually, yes. I would move 7 up one slot. I now think it's the
Okay.
third worst. It is very frustrating because I feel like I said, everything J.K. Rowling does is a good idea. Harry
Yeah.
being a Horcrux is a good idea.
Yeah.
But the way it just kind of like in the movies feels like that was not planned. We're just going to do that now. And to be fair, right, these were coming out alongside the books. So the directors and writers didn't know. Only J.K. Rowling might have known. I think she kind of did the same thing where she was like, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Go me.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. So, like, there's so many good ideas that I feel like if the show can, like, project this so much better throughout, like I said, if they fix the basilisk thing, if they fix a couple of plot holes, and they like now all the books are out so they know what's going to happen, it's very good. So like in the reunion show, the guy who plays Sirius Black, he's a fantastic actor that I can't remember his name right now. He talks about how like if only I had known what my character's path was gonna be, I would have played it completely differently.
Interesting.
And apparently the only character who had an insight onto what their character was going to be was Alan Rickman. And it caused arguments on set because the directors and writers were like, why were you playing it that way? And he would just answer, you'll find out in the next book. So, like, I think the show could smooth out a lot of things. I don't think it's going to be. But I'm still not mad that it's coming out because, like I said, I just finished Harry Potter and still I'm like, I like the world. I like the feeling of magic and whimsy and anything's possible. And magic doesn't always have to have rules, kind of stuff. And it's so I'm excited. I hope it's good.
Gary Oldman.
Yeah,
That
I have a
yeah.
lot of respect for that guy. He's a good actor. The last thing I wanted to bring up is watching the reunion show. I didn't realize this ever before, but the first 2 was one director, 3 was one director, 4 was one director, 5, 6, 7 was one director.
Okay.
And Ron, Hermione, and Harry were talking about how that played into the success, because in 1 and 2 they're just kids and the director treated them like kids and let them have fun and wasn't a just freaking get in control, you 1,000 kids I have on set. Like, he would have fun with them and all this kind of stuff. And then the third one came in and he was trying to mature it up, so he treated them like teenagers. And then the next one came in and he treated them like adults. And then the last one came in. And so it, like, they see it as the director matured, the story matured, and as it got darker and more serious towards the end, they needed a darker and more serious director. And I think that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
You can also tell when the directors change by their haircuts. That's how I could tell the directors.
I didn't notice that. I just thought that they were getting older, so they would have different haircuts.
They had
That's
like
what I thought, too.
drastic haircuts. So
Yeah.
like the first two, he kind of has like, it's that he lets it go like real wild in the third one. Fourth one, they why they all have long hair was the director previously was like would have them grow out their hair so that when they would come in they could cut it to where they wanted it to be. And so then when they brought in a new director, they're like, okay, we're here for our haircuts. And he's like, no, this is fine, let's roll. And they're like, no.
Funny thing I learned about the third director, or the third movie director, he assigned the 3 main characters to write an essay from the point of view of their characters, so that he, the director, could understand them better because he hadn't really read the books.
That's interesting.
And the character who played Ron didn't do it. And when he was confronted about it, he was like, well, I don't think Ron would write the essay, so I didn't write the essay.
That's smart. That's funny. And
like,
true.
Emma Watson apparently turned in like some 17-page front and back insane thing. So yeah, I think watching the reunion is interesting. I actually learned some pretty cool stuff.
That's cool. All right, let's go to our shared topic, guys. I'm probably going to be the most negative
Yep,
about
absolutely.
this. So I'll go first. This. So we talked about The Sound of Music last episode, and Josh felt like it was a slog to get through. This was a slog and a half. It took forever. I felt like eternity happened while I was watching this movie.
I watched all of time cease to exist.
It was so long. And I feel like Keanu Reeves has that thing that he's famous for where he's like talking like this all the time. Yeah. And I feel like Sandra Bullock was like, I need to be like Keanu Reeves. So I'm also going to talk like this the entire time. Yeah. And I was like, I don't care about either of these characters at all. If they get into a relationship, cool. Awesome. If you have this time traveling thing work out for you, great. Awesome. When Keanu's going to die and she's like all worried about him, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about this guy at all. Literally zero. He can get hit by a bus. I don't care. Just if he gets hit by the bus, end this movie for me, please.
Can you speed the bus up faster?
Can you speed the bus up faster? Like, the concept should be interesting to me. I like the idea of like them sending letters back and forth between each other through time. I should like the relationship. I felt like there needed to be some levity in this movie. There wasn't anything that I found funny or even really made me smile. And so I didn't care about the characters. It felt like it took eternity. The acting was fine. I was so bored. This movie was so boring to me. And I didn't really love it. But I hope you guys did. The entire time I was like, I hope that they really enjoy this movie. I really do. I want to be the one that is hating on this, and I want them to love it. So Josh, I hope you loved it. What did you think?
Well, Conlon, I did love it.
Good.
This one is, I'm a big romantic guy. I consider myself a hopeless romantic. I love slow burn romances where they don't just like, Oh, hey, you're hot. Oh, hey, you're rock star hot. Let's go have the sex. Yeah, that's not love. And this is perfect. It is extraordinary. It is, they don't have the ability to do that. And you can feel like they don't have very much energy in their speaking, but most of the time they're not speaking, they're narrating letters. Um, and I think they do a great job with it, especially when they get to be more real in their conversations. I felt like Keanu had pain in his voice when he was talking about his dad. And when Sandra Bullock gave him the book to be like, hey, your dad really did love you, my guy, I was just like, oh my gosh, that is such a loving gesture. I just absolutely love it. And then my heart was just like broke when she was like, you just have to let me move on. And I'm like, he's dead. He's definitely dead. Why didn't you look up this guy? Why didn't you go try and save his life? Obviously, he's not calling or showing up because he's dead. Why did you not look? Just look him up.
No.
Go look it up. You come on. And then you find out, oh, he did die, and you're like, obviously, as if that was the most obvious plot point. But you get to the point where he goes up to her fiance and is like, here, rent the lake house. It's what she wants. I was like, that right there, true love. What an absolute gesture of pure, unselfish, true love. This movie was absolutely adorable. I think the criticism that there wasn't any laughs, I guess, is fair. I don't remember laughing at all watching it. Um, but it's not supposed to be funny. It is all about, like, to me, defining characteristics of love: patience, selflessness. And we had a beautiful example of a love that took such patience and selfishness. You had Keanu dancing with Sandra Bullock, knowing that this is the person who he's in love with, but she is not that person yet because he has to wait 2 years. Like, what utter patience and selflessness and just love for the other person that would take. Because, like, I don't know, I was sitting there like, say something, you dummy. Change the history, change what happened, say something. But then I was like, nah, he'd probably come off as crazy. And then you get to the point where he was like, well, you probably think I was drunk or crazy or both. And you're like, yeah, that's really fair. But yeah, I really love this one. It's not perfect. It is a slow burn romance, and I love that. So I'm really happy Lauren had us watch it.
Good. um, I remember when I first like watched this as like a kid. This was my mom's like favorite romance movie, to the point that like she cut her hair like um
Keanu, I
Sandra
think so.
Bullock.
like Keanu. Can you imagine? like Sandra Bullock. Um, and yeah, she loved this movie. Um, and like I remember the like when they're trying to figure out who these letters are from, and like uh when they're being like, where did the footprints come from on the deck? And he's like, what footprints? Until then his dog walks across and he's like, oh, those footprints. I liked um how they dealt with that, of like figuring out that they're at different times. And then um like I remember being like so heartbroken at the end, where she like realizes that he dies, and she like hurries and runs to like the mailbox, and she's like, don't do it. Like, that's where you die. And like her just like crumpling to the mailbox and stuff. And I was like being so mad, because this was like a point in my life where I was young enough that normally the movies I watched, they had plot armor. And so I was this was like the first time I remember in a movie that I'm like, did they kill him off for real? He's not coming back. So I felt like this was like the first time that I was like scared for a character to come, wasn't gonna come back, and then be like, "Mom, why do you love this so much? Why do you love pain?" Um, but yeah, so I think this movie had a lot more to deal with, like that my mom loved this movie so much, so I think I loved it a little bit more than if I had just discovered it on my own. But I still really like the Lake House, and I like the dynamic of the time where they get to like know each other, and then like them trying to figure out a way to actually meet with each other. Um, yeah. So I
It's
was,
like if You Got Mail wasn't so stalkery and weird.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, I
Or
like,
if like Letters to Juliet wasn't somebody who was actually dead.
yeah. Uh, but and I like Sandra Bullock and I like Keanu Reeves, and I think it's a good movie. But yeah, if you're looking for laughs, I guess not your movie.
See, I don't need like the whole thing to be laughs, but I think part of love is playfulness. Like
Mm,
flirting and is playfulness. And like that is something I really love in romance when they can be playful with each other. And there
mm,
wasn't any playfulness. It was just all I felt like I was watching something depressing anyway. Like the entire thing just felt kind of like, okay, it's nice that you're doing that for I don't care. I don't care. Go ahead, Jess.
I think there is playfulness in it.
Okay.
It's not a lot, but like you have her saying stuff like, "The year is 2006. You can ask anyone." Um, Stuff like that. The other nurse character has some quips. Like there's some playfulness to it. There's not a lot. I totally concede that point. But there is some. Uh, I do have one other criticism I was going to bring up, and that it's not once did he ever say who wins the Super Bowl next year, or the World
mm.
Series, or the NBA Finals. Because I'll tell you what, if I was Keanu Reeves, I'd be like, I am making some big bets. uh, but yeah, maybe that's some playfulness that should have happened in it. I don't know. I still liked it. Lauren, what would you rate it on a scale from 1 to 10?
8.
What about you, Josh?
I was going to go like 7.2, 7.3 ish. Uh, I liked it. It is more serious, so like I'm not always going to be in the mood for it, which is why I'd bring it down, but I do like it and will rewatch it.
Okay. It's not an abysmal piece of trash. 3? I'm giving it a 3.
It just lasted an eternity.
It
Hey,
just
if
lasted an
we
eternity.
combine mine and Conlon's thing, we have agreed that the Lake House is better than The Sound of Music.
Okay. With that, guys. Next week we're going to be Next week, we're going to watch 3 different movies and share topics together. It's going to be Klaus, Christmas with the Cranks, and The Miracle Maker. Hopefully, you guys can watch along. That would be awesome. If you haven't seen any of these, watch it with us. Comment what you think. We'd love to hear from you. We appreciate you. Make tomorrow fantastic. Keep going forward. Make your dreams come true. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.